What's going on, guys? This is Martyrs Brigade 99 coming to you once again with another session of Dark Souls PvP. Alright guys, this is part 2 of the Arena series. And like I said in part 1 of the video, I haven't really been in an arena in a long while, so I figured that I would just kind of switch things up a little bit and go ahead and visit the arena. Now, a lot of these guys that I'm playing are some of the Twitch bros actually. I kind of visited the chats and I'm like, hey dude, you guys want to have some matches? And I let them know that I was in the arena. So some of them went on ahead and attended for the duration of the time. And actually I wasn't even here for this long because actually I was here for a little while and I was waiting for the series, an upcoming Battle of the Uploader series that I had against good old Foxio. Right, so all this was prior to that. So actually I was only here in the arena for a little while. But during the time that I was here, I had a lot of fun. So what you guys are going to see in part 2 of the arena series is basically 4 1v1 matches, and then the last 2 matches will be a 2v2 cosplay, and actually I think that's the most exciting. Now with regard to the first cosplay, the first few seconds kind of stinks, mainly because when they told me the idea, they're like, hey dude, we're kind of doing a cosplay. So I'm like, okay, well what I'll do is I'll do the Silver Knight, but I need to go farm the Silver Knight items, the spear, the sword, and the shield. Now, after they went on ahead and had a few rounds, I still hadn't gotten the shield. So what you guys are going to see in the first few seconds before the action is basically me dropping down and good old Crunchy breaking me off with a high-speed Silver Knight shield. Now, anything after that, from the rest of that point onward, you guys are going to see a lot of action, and actually it was pretty exciting. Because like I said before, I'm almost never in the arena, so it was a good change of pace, and it was definitely fun. Now, from the videos that I have seen with some of the 2v2s, it was basically a backstab fest. Right, so we kind of switched things up a little bit. Now there will be some backstabs, but it will definitely not be a backstab fest. It will basically be an all-out cosplay brawl. Alright, so good old Zangief here is doing a good job with that Murakumo. And actually, he does pretty good with that. And I wanted to fight him a few more times at a later date, but he was lagging so bad that it was just a turn off. I would just jump over the ledge every time he invaded me. But it was all good because I think it was inclement weather. I think that's what it was. He kind of left me a note. He's like, my bad dude, I know I'm lagging, but hey, the weather was bad. Alright, so GG. Some good Murakumo action right there. Shout out to good old Zangief. Alright, so we're back at it again with good old Jutas. And like I said before, in the event that I'm not pronouncing it correctly, my bad, dude. Alright, so you have to pay, now that's one thing that I need to pay close attention to. Right, if you guys notice that, what he did was he would shoot off. Okay, you guys pay attention to that? That's the second time he did it, so I might want to be a little careful and hopefully I won't fall for it a little later. What he does is he will pull out his, I don't know, I think that was an Avalon or something. And what he will do is basically a bait and switch technique. Right, although he might go for a little damage with it. Okay, so I was too close, so actually he couldn't do it. But what he's doing is he's trying to get me with the bait and switch. What he's doing is he's kind of judging the distance, right? And insofar as I'm long enough, not long enough, insofar that I'm far enough for him to shoot, and within that duration of time he can recover and quickly parry, he's basically setting me up for the bait and switch. So you guys just watch these patterns. Okay, see? You guys just notice that. What he's going to do, he's going to shoot. As soon as he recovers with the Avalon, he's going to run up to me and parry. That's the pattern. Like I said before, pay close attention. Because insofar as you are paying attention to patterns from your opponent, you will be a lot better at reading them. And actually, I should actually, kind of take my own advice, right? And like I said before, that's kind of one of the downsides of having videos. But like I was saying, that's probably some advice I need to take for myself, because shout out to good old Mr. I Won't Forget. And shout out to Fox from Foxio Games. I just had a few matches with them, and actually they were pairing the bananas out of me. I mean, the crap out of me, basically. And from what I noticed, I said, you know what? Now, one of these guys might be parry spamming. The other, on the other hand, I think he's just reading my patterns. And actually, I just saw the upload of the series between myself and I Won't Forget. And based upon what he was saying, and me looking at myself while he was saying it, I recognized that I did at that particular time establish a pattern, and he was able to capitalize on it. So you guys will be able to see that Battle of the Uploader series sometime soon. Alright, as a matter of fact, let me give you guys just a quick update. Now, what I plan to have for this Saturday is basically 2 Battle of the Uploaders. One is a 1-part series between myself and Mr. I Won't Forget. The series between myself and Fox and Foxio Games will be a 2-part series. Then we're going to have, and in addition to that, I think it's only going to be 2 parts of the arena, and we will have one other video which will be a battle of the builds, and that will basically be it for this weekend's uploads. So you guys need to go ahead and stay tuned, because as you guys would know, when I watch this, okay, I guess I was engaging too much. He didn't really want to risk the parry. So hopefully you guys will stay tuned, because to the extent that you guys are familiar with the channel, I like to keep you guys with material on every Saturday. Saturdays are usually my upload days, right? So if you guys are kind of new, maybe you get just kind of stumbled up on the brigade, and you kind of like what you're seeing, my upload days are generally on Saturdays, so just keep that in mind. Alright, so that was a nice kick right there, followed up with followed up with a high-speed jump attack, and actually I missed those 2 Boulder Side Sword thrusts, and he's trying to get me some more with those dead angle jumps, and luckily I dodged those attacks. Alright, so some people ask me, dude, why do you have so much endurance on your builds? Well, mainly because I like to have 2 weapons, right, whenever I'm using my dexterity build. Because think about it, on dexterity builds, all except for the Murakumo and the server, most dexterity weapons weigh 6 units or less. Alright, so all my builds have enough dexterity for my armor, my shield, a bow, and 12 units in total weight. In addition to those things, right? So in other words, in addition to my armor, and my armor, my shield, and my bow, in addition to that, 12 units in weight, so that to the extent I feel like carrying 2 6-unit weapons, I can do so. Because if you notice, kind of when I'm, just kind of looking at random videos, I would notice that a lot of guys basically use 1 weapon and they're done with it. Well, me, I like to switch it up sometimes, because think about it. In some instances, let's just say I have a katana. Well, actually, let me take that back. I don't have a katana. Let's just say, well, actually, no, I'm saying that right. Let's say I have a katana, and all of a sudden I run into a spear user. Well, most of those guys that only use 1 weapon, they're like, holy crap, I'm screwed. The spear user has the reach advantage, right? But see, that doesn't happen with me, and this is why I'll always like to be prepared. In most cases, I will have a horizontally swinging weapon and a vertically swinging weapon. In most cases. So in other words, you might see me with a claymore right? Wherein I use a lot of the R2s and some of the other attacks, some of the running R1s. And then you may see me pair that off with like a halberd. Or you may see me with, let's just say, a halberd and a Quelaag Fury Sword. So this is why I have so much endurance. As a matter of fact, I had some guy ask me, why do you have over 40 endurance? Well, that's why. Right? That's why. I like to make sure that I am equipped for pretty much any situation. So in other words, let's just say I have a weapon with a short range and I run into one of these ridiculous spear users. Well, guess what? I have enough weight to where I can go ahead and pull out my halberd in addition to my claymore or something else. Now, for some of these cookie cutter builds that stop at only enough weight to be able to use a katana or something like that, I mean, unless they're just some hot shots, they're basically handicapping themselves, right? They've basically limited their range of motion to that of one weapon, right? Anything after that, they can't do anything else. And actually, my son was kind of climbing on my lap right there. Shout out to my son. What's up, Xavier? That's why I kind of wasn't doing anything. But so that's why I do that. That's why I do it. Alright, so basically I'm getting trolled by good old Virtuous. Shout out to the Twitch bro Virtuous. I'm being trolled with his double shield. Actually, I can't even say double shield. It's basically a shield build, right? Because if you notice, he's using all the shields, including the bone wheel shield, and he's actually piecing me up while you're playing. All right. Because, you know, sometimes when you may see a build like this, you may say to yourself, like, come on, what is this guy really going to do? But if you pay close attention, he's really putting in some good damage. You guys notice the damage he's doing with that bone wheel shield? Yeah, so just because a guy may be trolling, do not underestimate your opponent. Never. Alright, so actually, well, I finally got some damage there, but I missed the first one. He knocked me out. Shield build. That's funny. So, seeing that I am having a series of matches with a lot of the... And actually, that's kind of a cool build. Right? He's using all of the shields. GG to good old Virtuous. That was cool, dude. Now, you know, like I just said before, since I'm having a series of matches with some of the Twitch bros, I'd like to give a shout out to all the Twitch dudes out there, every single one of you. Alright, now, stand by real quick. I'm going to go ahead and get this shield real quick. He's engaging me. I guess he forgot about the equipment transfer. So he's going to go ahead and drop me the Silver Knight shield, and we will be ready for action. Alright, now if you guys notice, I have the whole hookup. Shield, bow, sword, spear. Now, I want you guys to pay close attention in this first match to how often I'm using my spear, right? Because I guess I got accused of only using the spear when I kind of been using everything. And I was also accused of doing a lot of backstabs, so I want you guys to just pay close attention to how many backstabs I do. As a matter of fact, I think I only backstabbed twice. Maybe 3. So go ahead, pay attention. But yeah, like I said, this was definitely fun. I hadn't done one of that. Actually, this was my first time doing one of these. First time. Now, you may kind of underestimate that pyromancer, that daughter of chaos, but you cannot do it. Alright, because, and actually it looks like that, I'm not really sure who's playing the daughter of chaos, but whoever it is, looks like they had the red tearstone fired up, and actually they do. So you definitely do not want to get hit with a red tearstone pyromancy, because you will definitely be in for it. Alright, so we're good to go. So it looks like we have Tarkus go on the Silver Knight, and Quilana looks like one of the Daughters of Chaos. Alright, so I just gotta that was funny. Alright, let me try to pick somebody off with one of my... Okay, nice BS right there. And actually, the rules were supposed to be, you know, don't just go for BS for the most part. Right now, in some cases, you might get one, but you know, the focus is because actually, I think I've been in one of these once before, and that's all it was, a BS fest, and it was basically a competition on who can get the most backstabs. It was actually boring. But doing it the way that we're doing it here, it was actually fun, right? Because no one focused on exercising backstabs, right? We were basically concentrating on whatever other attacks that the cosplay character had to offer. And actually, he was doing a good job beating me to a pulp with that hammer. So I had to go ahead and back him off in the distance. And actually, man, I got torched, and I got basically just jumped on with that great axe. Alright, so that's one good thing about having 0 poise. You can go ahead and try to interrupt those fire tempests. Man, he's pretty good with those jump attacks on that great axe. Alright, and good old Tarkus is tightening people up, definitely. And I wonder, is Tarkus using his Leo ring? Because if he was using a Leo ring, that greatsword would definitely be deadly. I mean, now, it's already deadly without it, but I'm pretty sure some of you guys may have seen in a couple videos I had not too long ago, wherein I used the greatsword with the Leo ring. And I think the most damage I was able to get, it was like 1100 damage on the counter attack, right? No buffs, no power within, no red tearstone, no nothing, just 1100 on a counter. Alright, so I'm just basically wild swinging, and he just, oh, well, good thing I didn't get picked off with that bow, because he was definitely aiming for me. Now, one thing with regard to the Silver Knight sword, if you guys pay attention to some of the Silver Knights over in Andor Orlando, now they have their regular attacks, but they also will do one thrusting attack. And I kind of wish that the Silver Knight sword had a thrusting attack, because I know the Silver Knights use one thrusting attack. It's kind of like they kind of draw back, step into you, and they just kind of pierce inside you, right? Almost like a thrust from the, almost like an S-Stock two-hand thrust, two-handed R2 thrust. Kind of similar to that, but slightly different. Alright. So like I said, I will feature... Oh, excuse me. I will feature 2 free-for-alls. Well, actually, this is not a free-for-all. This is a 2v2. I will feature 2 team battles. This will be the first, and we will have one more for the remaining of the video. And I hope you guys will enjoy it. And I fired that arrow, that bow, way too early. I basically should have waited till he stood up instead of allowing him to roll and jump first. But we get another check in the W column, so we're good to go. Alright, so this will be the last clip of the 2-part arena series, and this will be one more 2v2 team battle. So actually Tarkus is on my team, so we're good to go. And actually he's going to be playing, I guess, a simultaneous Smo and Ornstein, right? So that's why he's using the hammer in one hand and the Dragon Slayer spear, or dragon, whatever you call it, whatever. In other words, the Ornstein spear. Put it that way, right? I'm pretty sure you guys can understand that. Sometimes I kind of get these weapons names wrong. Alright, now, for any of you guys that have ever faced anyone with the Smo hammer, you cannot sleep on that thing. Granted, it's slow. Granted, it doesn't really do anything. But you cannot sleep on it because the actual hammer part of that weapon has a wide attack area. Very wide. You cannot sleep on it. Right? You may think to yourself that you're out of range, but I can almost guarantee that if you do not have enough space, you're going to be done. Alright, so I have to basically be careful of that Syrian cosplay because I really don't want to get bled out. And I think the Silver Knight armor has pretty good bleed resistance, right? Because if you notice, I got hit a few times, and with most armors, I probably would have been bled out by that. Alright, so that backstab definitely hurts from that Smo hammer. Alright, so Syrian is basically playing her build to the fullest, right, by throwing out those Lloyd's talismans. And that hammer definitely hurts. Definitely hurts. But it looks like me and good old Tarkus is doing a good job. Let's see, can I knock him down? Actually, I missed. Alright, so if you guys know, okay, yeah, that bleed is definitely building up. Alright, so he's going to give me a quick lick. I understand what he was doing. The rule was no backstabs, but I mean, I understand that mistakes happen, so he just went on ahead and gave me a quick bow as an acknowledgement as of a, you know, my bad dude. So we're good to go, no problem. Things happen. But, I mean, hey, you don't need to do any backstabs because that little gold tracer will definitely do a lot of damage. Definitely do a lot of damage. Alright, come on, dude. Go ahead and poke him. Poke, poke, poke. And basically, you know, I kind of need some range because think about it. Not only does he have the strong Smo hammer, but he also has the spear. Right, so he has the spear and the Smo hammer, which is super hard. As a matter of fact, that weapon requires 58 in strength. 58 in strength. That is absolutely ridiculous. Alright, what do we have here? Alright, so we need to go ahead and tag team on that Syrian. Man, I missed again with the bow. Okay, it's all good. Now I really have to be careful. So you guys notice that? 245 damage, and that's with 27 strength and 40 dexterity. So I mean, the spear, you know, with each hit is not really all that much of a big deal. The biggest problem with the spear is basically the length of it. And the fact that you can swing so fast, right? Because if you're dealing with a good spear user, they won't even allow you to get close to them for the most part. Alright, but I'm going to go ahead and use my handy dandy Silver Knight sword. Switch it up a little bit. Sword, bow, and spear. Alright. Man, still dodged that. Now, that was an awesome parry right there. From who is this? Is that Virtuous? That's Virtuous. That was an awesome parry. Alright, now I really have to be careful because that hammer has a huge attack radius, even though, you know, visually, in terms of just visuals, it may not necessarily look like it. Alright, so I'm basically getting the stomp down. Alright, so that was another BS right there. Okay, and he was basically giving me a I understand, dude. No problem. Ugh. Well, all right, guys. This is pretty much it for the two-part series. I'll let you guys go ahead and watch the last few moments of this 2v2 free-for-all. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed it. So just stay tuned for my next series that I'll be working on sometime soon. So until next time, Martyrs Brigade.